just out walking on my property, just thinking about happiness and what that means and how you can actually choose happiness in your life, even if your situations aren't perfect and things maybe aren't necessarily how you want them to be or look how you want them to be. So for example, last night we were in our cabin, we were sleeping, and our diesel heater quit, which is a pretty big deal when you're at your off-grid property out in, the middle of nowhere. I'm just kind of walking down this goes to our property. That's our pond that's kind of covered up right there. But yeah, we're not exactly to everybody. It's 5 kilometers of gravel road to a main road. And so yeah, we woke up 5:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and yeah, the diesel heater had quit. So we had a choice. We could get up at whatever 5:30 and choose to have a really bad day, or to choose to have a really good day. And that meant for us, packing up our stuff, moving it into our guest cabin. We have a tiny little container guest cabin, so we had to move some of our stuff to the guest cabin, which was inconvenient. And yeah, it wasn't the funnest thing to do first thing in the morning at that time, but we made the most of it. We, lounged around, heated up the other cabin, made some coffee, and, made the best of the situation. We could have been very angry and grumpy and, just allowed that situation to ruin our day, to be, okay, that's it, we're going home, whatever it was. But we both chose in that moment, early for me, on a non-work day, to just stay positive and just keep our joy and not allow that situation to dictate the rest of the day. And I think a lot of people in life tend to do that. Something happens, whether it's something small on the bus to work, or you're driving to work and something happens, or you're at work and a situation happens, and you allow that to ruin your happiness for the day. It's robbed you of your joy. It's created unnecessary stress. And a lot of people do that without even realizing how it's affecting them. And it's affecting your future, and it's affecting your day, and it's probably affecting your decisions. And it's like the snowball effect in your life. And yeah, I just want to say, just be conscious of your decisions, be conscious of what you're doing, be conscious of your mood, be conscious of what's happening around you, be aware of your decisions in those moments, because they do affect you. And I know, often people will say, they're at work, and, I was in the customer service industry for years as a district sales manager. And sometimes I would hear my staff say, well, this customer was so rude, or this person did this, or this person yelled at me, or this person did this. And at times, sometimes even those situations, I would almost laugh after the situation happened. So for example, many times when customers did not get their way, they would have temper tantrums in their responses towards me. And part of that would be lashing out, probably name calling, doing whatever it was to try and bully me to get what they wanted in that particular situation. And most of the time, I didn't give in to that sort of behavior. And I would just apologize, say what I could do, say sorry, whatever it is, and let it be. And I would not own their behavior or their response to whatever I was saying. And I would also be aware that I can't allow that to affect my mood for the rest of the day, because at times that would affect me. And then I would realize that how I'm interacting with other people, or how I'm interacting with other staff, isn't right, or how I'm bringing that home in my home life isn't right. So I realized that in those moments, I would just have to stop. I would maybe laugh. I would maybe smile. I would say to my staff, it is what it is. Let's just leave that behind and move on. Another situation, my husband and I, we went snowshoeing yesterday. And we have a really old snowmobile, very old snowmobile, and we took it up to as far as we could go at the top of the property because we wanted to go out to some trails out there, and the snowmobile broke. And so in that moment, we had a decision. We could work together to try and get the snowmobile to work and get back, or we could be angry and frustrated at each other. We could yell at each other. We could do all these things that wouldn't be helpful, or we could try to put our heads together, as my husband's trying to fix that and I'm trying to look for tools and help him. So in that moment, I had a choice. I could choose, okay, well, the worst case scenario is we have to snowshoe, 3 more kilometers. And it is what it is. And the snowmobile stays here till spring. And we could be very angry and agitated about that, or we could choose to say, let's still have a great day and let's still have a great night. So those are just some situations I want to, just share with you guys, because your response is key. So choose happiness, choose your responses, choose to make the best of any situation that happens, even in ones that are stressful, especially things like I just shared with you, because really in the reality of life, those are actually pretty minor situations, and those are minor things, but how we respond to those little things changes how we respond to big things that really matter and that impact your life. So choose happiness, smile, choose things that are good for you and good for others around you. Choose good responses. All right, take care.